everybody. Yeah, Søren Samer, Core Media, quick intro. We provide the technology, the content management system, the DXP behind some of the most ambitious brands in the world. Plus, maybe the brands that helped you get here today, the Deutsche Bahn, or T-Mobile that helped you communicate, or Under Armour, or Hoka 11, nice shoes you might like. So when you have these wonderful brand experience at a global scale, we are a partner of these companies. Our mission is to elevate experience and to drive impact. And I could not be on the stage in Cologne without talking about this, like the Kölner Dome. I want to basically use this moment to admire this thing. Like it's amazing that they built this in 632 years, starting in 1200 something, and they got it done. Well, in a truly agile way, they took a 300-year break, but it's there, right? And when I think of it, who planned this? Who was able to basically plan ahead something like this and build the tallest building in the world for 4 years and got it done? So with that, let's admire the people behind this who had the vision to create something that they will never see. Okay, we're talking about AI. It's everywhere here, and I'm really convinced in a few years from now, when you look back at today's customer experience, it will look like, to be French, shit, right? Like a few years now in the future, the experience that we will have is so much better than anything we have today. So even the best experience today will feel not even average, not good enough in a few years from now. So AI will all do this, and there are many, many things that happened. And I would like to also share some things that AI doesn't address that you might have to do a little differently. So what we believe happening is two things for our marketers. You have to elevate the experience, make it better and better. At the same point in time, drive impact, like create more value for customers, create more customer lifetime value, create more loyalty, create more conversion. So the impact part is very much connected to the creating a better experience. Creating these wonderful customer experience is not easy, right? Like there are so many complexity. We saw it in the earlier talk. So many other systems you have to integrate, so many countries, services, languages, so many complicated aspects that all of us in this industry know to make it is hard. And it easily breaks. Some statistics, like only one bad experience with a brand you love, and 30% of the people basically might jump ship and go to a different brand. So it's really not easy to have a great experience because, it's easy to break it and then to lose the customer. So the statistic with, 1 in 3 customers leaving after one bad experience, I think that's crushing. It's soul crushing. It's like dating in New York, Like there's always another opportunity and you might lose the customer, or waiting, making people wait. 10-second wait, I think this is an old number. Like in the age of TikTok, nobody waits 10 seconds for anything. So also not acceptable. And then not being personalized, also close to half of the customers really don't waste my time by showing me something that is not relevant. So all these things, it's just you have to basically master them. You have to do them. And that's today, or that was yesterday. That will be even more so the case in a few years from now. The good thing is AI will help us with a lot of these things, right? Because you can automate so many things. You can, as we saw, create much more content and create better experiences. And this will be certainly the mega trend of the future. So, those who have done it well, we see here, like Amazon, right? Click, 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 and the next morning or even the same day, you get the stuff. It's mind-blowing when you look just a few years back. That's, however, now, it's annoying when you have to wait more than a day for something you order. So it becomes the new norm to basically deliver in real time to the expectations. Zappos, not that famous here in Germany, but in the US, it was amazing, right? The people called the call center and said, well, can you help me get a pizza? I like you guys and you always solve problems, so can you help me have a pizza? And they solved the problem, even though they were a shoe store. So that was Zappos, right? Like a really brilliant brand. And Apple, everyone admires Apple. I do, actually, to see how they roll out new products at a global scale. And it's always so consistent and flawless. From the product packaging to all the ads that you see to the store, everything is just so crazily, beautifully orchestrated. So, and I think that's inspiring. deliver these experiences, it's however hard. It makes a huge difference when you do, as we see with these brands. So it becomes like a key success factor for every single brand. We see that with our luxury customers, like all these fancy kind of like really expensive things, they can sell anything online, but it has to be a perfect experience. We see it with airlines, we see it with banking, even healthcare. Every one of them is pushing the limits when it comes to customer experience. So when we look in the future, what is happening? Like one thing, it will all be more immersive. And the reason is because Apple does this thing, right? You might have tested this Facebook one or the other, the Quest, all these kind of like headsets, and they are kind of boring. After a while, you basically lose interest. Even my kids, right? They like new stuff. This thing, after like a few hours, they said, yeah, no, thanks. This thing here, the Apple Vision Pro, I think, when this comes out, I'm pretty sure all the first-class, business-class trips to New York, we will see these things on the faces all the time, because I really believe, I haven't tried it yet, they will nail this thing, right? They worked so many years on this, and that will be a big difference. You will, with your brand, somehow happen in that area and be in a much more immersive environment. I'm not sure I'm yet basically ready to do my work in there, but the fact that you have a gigantic display with you all the time, you can work wherever you are, yes, it's happening. I talked to another CEO recently. He's basically now talking all the time because he said, hey, I don't want to write. He's not doing English anymore. He just is German and has it translated. So he's basically in the barn, sitting there, talking to himself with his AirPods. And this is a way of managing now. And it works because it's all automated. With this thing, he even basically can work through his spreadsheets without having a computer in front of him. And then, yeah, I think it will be something that we will see strongly. Second thing is, after I'll be really annoyed with these chatbot things, like talking to a machine that doesn't understand you well, and even with Siri, right? Like, trying to say 3 times, to say, and you start to learn how this thing might understand you. This will be changing, right? Like when you now see the latest technology, even the upgrades with Siri, this gets better and better. It gets frighteningly good at understanding, and the text recognition and even the dictation, everything is kind of like mind-boggling good. So this will now become the norm, right, for interfaces. In my house, like 4 kids, we don't have switches for some lights. It's just voice. And for them, it's completely normal to do all their music listening with voice. It's just voice is so much easier than switches. And really, I got bored of switches. You get used to it. Voice becomes really this interface that makes a big difference. More automated. Yes, we will basically find the right things we need. If it's like Hoka 1.1 to find the really perfect shoes for you, this thing will learn about you, get zero-party data, and tell you exactly which shoes you want. And that's wonderful because we don't have time. We don't want to waste time with stuff that is not relevant. So you want someone to help us, right? So to help us get there faster. And that's, I think, where AI is just wonderful, right? It just takes a lot of this complicated steps out of it. More relevant. As I said, right? Don't waste my time. So one of the biggest things we see with customers is they try to reduce the friction for their customers. Because every single step where you have to re-enter something or where you re-explain something is frustrating. We don't have the time, and we don't want to waste the time on something that is not meaningful. So providing more relevant information, in this case, Hoka 1.1, they have 36 different target kind of groups that they figured out. Do you run on kind of like on streets or in the forest? Do you have special needs for your shoes? Do you run often, like this kind of like ultra marathon, or do you run occasionally? All these things are relevant, and they know, wow, now let's show the stuff that is relevant for this person when they come to our site, and not the standard stuff. Let's stop doing campaigns. Let's create more and more information that is just relevant for people, that they enjoy when they come. And then use it more sparingly. Like use it then when the person is there, and the moment they look for this thing. More personalized, very much related. We talked about this earlier. We want stuff to be made for us. And that is a big difference. So in the luxury world, they call this a concierge service. Someone creating something just for you. And the truth is, AI is never luxury. It's like Google. Google is not luxury. It's AI, it's wonderful, it's powerful, but it doesn't feel like a luxury experience when you Google something because everybody can do it. But someone spending the time and selecting something just for you and curating and talking with you, hey, I found this thing, I reserved it for you, and here's why I think it's perfect. That is a luxury experience. So a white glove service, someone coming to your house, bringing the kind of like dress and waiting outside until you checked it if it works, and then you wave them goodbye and say, yeah, it works. You don't have to take it home. So that kind of experience. This is an example from Finnair, one of our customers. So they connect your frequent flyer model with the screen you're sitting for 12 hours going to Tokyo. Now they have to fly around Russia, so it's a longer flight. That is 12 hours of screen time, and why wouldn't you personalize that? So they use the same media system to manage their in-flight experience that they also use for their pre- and post-flight. So the booking part, they know who you are, what you're interested in. They even push like the latest scores of the Helsinki ice hockey team to you if you are a fan, on the screen in the flight. And why wouldn't you, right? We will have more and more screens around us that are smarter and smarter. A little bit like Minority Report. They learn about us, and don't waste my time with stuff that is not relevant. More seamless. Another customer of ours, like Vienna, the beautiful city of Vienna, another good one to talk about. They create now this experience for visitors. How do we help them visit the city and find the right places and have a great experience? And they now make it more seamless between all these touch points to really help you, because you are on your phone, you plan maybe a bit before on the website, you have apps, you have kind of social media, and you have the even in-store experiences. They try to basically get that all together to have one seamless experience where you don't have to explain yourself all the time. So, and then the one that I think is not really easily supported by AI. The one thing that I think when we look in the future is the big difference maker, and that is the human touch. You know, looking back when Steve Jobs came back to Apple, he did a lot of things, right? He cut the Newton, he cut a lot of other products, he simplified their product offering, he brought this iMac with colors, he brought someone the iPod, and then he did something else. He created physical retail locations. And everyone says, yeah, you're nuts, man. Like, retail is dying. Online, man, online is the way to go. Why do you want to have retail location? It doesn't scale. It's not really easy to do. It's it's expensive. And he did it anyway. And when you look today back, that is the thing that Louis Vuitton, Dior, all these luxury brands, that it makes a difference because people stand in line to have that experience. And Apple figured that out. We have to get people into the store to have the experience how it feels to work with Apple, to explore the products and everything. So they built a connection there. And this is counterintuitive, because that was the time when online was the big thing. And now the same is true with AI. AI will do a lot for us. Crazy amounts of kind of like stuff is unimaginable. Like, for example, everything is in your language. Like, yep, done. Everything, the photos are designed for you. Basically, like what you like to see, right? This thing, someone talking to you, is something that AI won't replace quickly. And we see that it makes a big difference. So when you blend a digital experience with human interaction. One example here is Apple again. They launched this in the US. It's the ability for someone on the online store looking for a new iPhone and having some questions to click on a button and talk to a Genie expert and see the Genie expert in a video screen and say, hey, can you help me here? I don't know if it's 15 plus extra ultra or the other one, and they can help you and basically make a nice package and sell it to you. So when I saw this, I said, yeah, that is the counterintuitive one to basically have more human interaction, which seems more expensive, but it's a difference maker. And we expect that to happen more. So our customers like Net-a-Porter, they have this thing of extremely important customers. And for them, there is a personal shopper employed who takes care of their needs, who basically designs experiences for them, who selects products for them. And that's a real person working for the people who spend a lot of money. We see that happening in more and more markets. Here's actually a telco doing the same thing. working with. So like they are able to, while you look for your nice package, to chat to someone, to call someone, or to kind of like have a video chat with someone. And that person is even able to basically manage the stuff on the screen for you, to basically put the stuff in your shopping basket and help you solve the solution. So I truly believe AI will be a massive enabler of a lot of beautiful things. But I also believe that human touch will be a difference maker. So when you look at your future experience, sprinkling a little bit of human touch on all this automation will help your brand and will help your experience and will make a huge difference. So when you think about the best experience of the future, I can nearly guarantee you it won't be completely automated by AI. It's not what kind of like is likely. And also, it's not what is really sustainable because it's easily copied, right? If I can use that AI, ChatGPT, you're not really exclusive there. It's kind of easy to do the same thing. So I really think, blending digital experience with human touch is the key thing. This is how it looks like when we do this for customers. It's really people in the call center can have a broad range of connection with the customers, can see what they are doing, communicate with them, chat with them, propose products with them, and kind of help them solve their problem. And that's seamlessly integrated from the automated website to conversational commerce, from voice to video to text. So all the different channels, messaging, live chat, bots, forms, all that has to be nicely integrated, that you don't have to say the same thing again and again and be bored by, okay, now I'm in the waiting line in the call center, and now they press 5. That is not the experience you can do, right? In the future, it will be, well, I figured everything out. There are the 3 products, and one of them is it, but I don't know. I have to ask someone to tell me, is this really working with my X, Y, and Z? And that thing to type in, to talk to someone, solve that problem, is, when you think about it, happening often, right? Often you're right before buying something, and there's one question you want to confirm, and that's, I think, what we see will happen with a human being helping you solve that question. So, at the end, empowering the best omnichannel customer experience will be a success factor, we believe. It's easier and easier with all these tools, but it takes this extra of working with a little human touch. So that's my giveaway. Thank you. We use that to get the experience up in this maturity level from separate channels to really elevated experience. And I think I have to close soon, but let me thank you for your attention and enjoy the sprinkles. Thanks.